Hey guys, welcome back to Shay's Urban Edibles. If you're new here, I'm Shay. I hope you decide to subscribe and stay along for the journey. If you're not new here, welcome and thanks for coming back. I did not have a lot going on in the garden today, but I did want to take you guys along for a quick pepper harvest. So, come along. So I did want to first get started on these Scotch bonnets. I see I got a couple that are ready to harvest. And then I also have quite a few blooms that are coming in on this pepper as well. Last year, I harvested peppers all the way up until November, and it looks like that's what I'm going to be able to do again this year. And then I also wanted to have plenty of cayenne peppers because I want to make cayenne pepper hot sauce, but then I also want to make the cayenne salve that is supposed to be really good for joint and muscle pain. That one is going to be good for seeds. It's eating up. This one's ready. This one's ready. So is this one. It's three. Like I said, these are the Scotch bonnets. I could probably do a little more fertilizing and watering over here in this bed. It feels a little dry. I was finally able to find the more bloom. I went to Home Depot earlier today and it was in stock. So I did grab a bottle. I probably should have grabbed a couple of bottles. It took so long for it to get back in stock. But what I did end up doing was purchasing this fertilizer on online, and it was not organic, but I decided to give it a try anyway, and it did pretty good with my pepper, so I can't complain. And I'm going to definitely make sure I use it all. Just because it's not organic does not mean I will not be using it. I do see some channels that say if you use organic and then you decide to go from organic to uh, processed fertilizers, that it kind of cancels out the organic fertilizers. I don't know how true that is. I will find out for myself because, like I said, I paid for it. I'm going to use it. Kind of hard to cut that one out. It's a bit of an overcast, but it's still pretty warm out here. I'm already sweating. Ooh, woo-hoo-hoo. And there's a couple back here too. Go ahead and get those. I already got quite a few little blooms on my fall tomatoes. I'm excited to see those. This one's branching out a lot, but it doesn't have a lot of blooms on it. All right, so that's all we're going to take from this Scotch bonnet. We can move on to the habanero. Oh, got this habanero. It's got some that are ready as well. And then look at this. It's got tons of flowers. Look at all those flowers. Even though it's hot out here, this thing is, like I said, it's really taking off. It's got a lot of blooms on it. Uh, like I said, keep in mind I did harvest peppers all the way up until November last year. I'm in zone 9B, I'm in Houston, Texas, and so we can practically grow year round here, which is crazy because when I went to Home Depot today, I was looking for some I need some rosemary seeds, and then I needed some more thyme seeds because I wanted to start some more thyme. And they had already put all the seeds and everything away. They still had a small amount of stuff to grow, like some fertilizers and stuff that were still on the shelves. But as far as the seeds, there was absolutely nothing. And then when I went to Walmart, they already had all of their Christmas stuff out. So the section that usually holds all of the outdoor equipment, the barbecue pits, the garden stuff, the mosquito sprays, all of that stuff had already been put away. Uh, so they did have a few things in the clearance section, but it was all for like grass and stuff like that. And I'm not interested in grass. I don't grow grass. Got a couple of peppers on here that aren't quite ready. They're orange. There's tons of yellow ones. So I'm gonna leave those for next time. And then I see one other one on that back side that I'll get a little, you know what, let me get it now because I will forget. So that's one, two, three that are back here on this side. I've got plenty of these little cayenne peppers that are ready. On a previous video, I did mention that I had sprinkled some turnip seeds in these beds. They're starting to come up, and I'm glad. Oops, there's only one bloom on there, thank goodness. So I'm anxious to see what these turnips are going to do. All right, I have another cayenne pepper here. These peppers are a little bit bigger. Big or small, I'm thankful to be able to come out here and harvest something. It doesn't always have to be huge. Once he gets started, that's my rooster making that noise. It is not a hen, contrary to popular belief. And once he gets started, all the hens get started. He is so freaking noisy compared to my other rooster. My other rooster just crows. But Oreo, he's a drama king. I almost thought it was over. They started quieting down, but I guess not. I got a chicken orchestra. That reminds me, I went in to give them watermelon earlier today, and there was not one egg in the coop. So I don't know why they making all that noise. Because ain't nobody laying no egg, that's for sure. All right, so that's all of the cayennes that I'm going to get. I don't know, we might actually be getting some rain today. It's starting to look kind of dark out here. Wouldn't bother me any, because it hasn't rained in a while. Now, I also have a ton of Serranos that are ready. You see how red they are? And so I need to harvest those. Ladies and gentlemen, shut it up already. Oops, where'd that pepper go? There it is. I'm even going to harvest the ones that are turning red. So that means this one. This one's small and it's got splits in it. From my understanding, the one with once they start having those cracks, that means they're ready and they're very spicy. Somebody about to get sprayed with the water hose if they don't shut it up soon. There's another one that's turning red. A few over here. Ooh. All right, so it looks like that's all the ones that are red and ready. I got a couple more that are starting to turn red. I'm gonna leave them. So I do also have this banana pepper. They're not quite ready yet, and so I'm gonna leave those. This is another banana pepper that has not really produced well this year. I don't know if it's because it's crowded out or what, but it has not done well this year. It's got a few peppers on there. This one, I'll pull it. So, I mean, they look okay, but this one's all beat up. Oh, there's a couple more in there. That's small and it's already red and ready to come. I'm almost ready to pull this freaking pepper out. Because like I said, it hasn't really been producing all year. It's kind of just a waste of space. And these are past ready to be pulled. The guajillo pepper. Got a couple of small bell peppers that are starting to turn red. Oops. Guess I'll be harvesting that one. So far, these are the peppers that we have. Well, as you guys can see, the Crayola cellar pepper, Crayola cellar, is doing really well. But it is blocking out my habanero that's back here. And so I think this is probably going to be the last harvest from this Crayola cellar. I'm going to go ahead and get all these peppers that are on it, and I'm going to pull it up or pull it out of the garden to give my orange habanero a chance to grow some peppers. And then also because this is a tomato, a cherry tomato, it's going to be growing all wild and out of style. So it's going to need a little more space too. So in order for that to happen, I'm going to have to remove this Crayola cellar. This is my first year growing it. I like the way it grows. It produces well. Um, and so it will be in my garden again next year. I am not exactly sure how hot they are, so let me try one. I read online, it said it's kind of fruity, medium spice. They taste good. And they are not spicy. They have just a hint of spice. Even with the pepper seeds. Well, it's getting a little spicier. I think that'll make a good mild hot sauce. You know, some people like hot sauce. They don't want it to be really, really hot. They just want to add a tad bit of spice. And so that's probably what I'll do with those. I'll try to make a hot sauce with those. If not, then I'll just make some pickled peppers and probably eat them with my mustard greens. But anyway, let's get to harvesting these Crayola cellar peppers. All right, I got my pepper basket, and I am ready to start harvesting. I'm going to start from the top. That's done. Move my way down to the bottom. Yeah, so this Crayola cellar pepper is it's actually a pretty decent pepper. I like it. Not too spicy. And they are a beautiful color, which makes it really easy to pick them. See, this one's kind of, something's been needing it, so I can use it for seeds. There are a few green ones on here that need to turn yellow. I don't want to sit on my peppermint. I need to stoop down to get these peppers. There's another tiny one. Probably be used for seeds. I can also see that this bed is a little low on soil, so I might be adding some soil to it as well. I went over to a grocery store in my area to get some fish to fry today, and they had the potting soil on sale, 2 for $5. And so I just grabbed a few bags of it because I know that around this time, the next couple of weeks, I'll be starting to pull some of these summer veggies, and it'll cool down enough to where I can put my start putting my fall veggies out, my brassicas, cabbages, cauliflower, broccoli, and so most of the time I lose soil when I do that, and so I know the soil levels in my beds will need to be replenished. So in actuality, I probably should go back and get a couple more bags of that potting mix or potting soil to make sure I can top all my beds off. It's tiny, but all right, so I got most of those except for a few green ones. Let me get this one. Oop, I dropped it. Where'd it go? Oh well, I'll run into it again. There it is. Good job, Oreo. All right, so it looks like I got just about all of them. There's one left. I hate to pull it up, but like I said, it's not giving my habanero an opportunity to grow because it's shading it out. And then also, I have to be concerned about this cherry tomato. So unfortunately, the Crayola cellar has to be removed. But like I said, this is definitely one of those peppers that will be in my garden going forward. I love the production. I love the color. I like the flavor of the peppers. All right. If you can't bear to see somebody pull a plant out of the garden, you might want to turn around because this is the part where I do it. That's the root system. It's not too big. So got another tomato clip on here to remove. All right, so the Crayola cellar has been removed from the garden for the year. Uh, like I said, hopefully that will give this habanero a chance to produce. The soil feel a little on the dry side, even though I got it set up for irrigation. I need to put a stake in this to make it stand up. All right. I do also believe this is full of peppers, so I'm not going to pull it yet. I'm going to let some of these peppers turn red. Dang, I got peppers everywhere. So I was going to pick these guajillo peppers and probably remove this plant as well since it's spreading so far and it's shading. So I suppose what I'll end up doing is just pulling the peppers and pruning it back so that it's not covering my habanero. But this pepper is massive as well. It definitely needs some support and it's been producing all year. I only wish the peppers were a little bit bigger. But let's get these harvested too. Yep, there's one on the ground. This one's ready. This one's ready. It's red. This one. This one. Now these peppers will be dried and used for seasoning. Uh, and because it's so productive, I will be able to, like I said, cut it back and it'll still produce. Most of the section that I'm going to be cutting back is here in this area. Hopefully they won't have any peppers once I finish pulling and I won't have to lose anything. This one can be used for seeds because it is very dry. A few in there that can stay. Check these. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 are ready. A couple more. I'm going to go ahead. Ooh, this baby is full of flowers. This one's ready. Not quite. Those can wait. This one's ready. All right, that's it for the guajillo. I do want to go ahead and here's one that's ready that could be used for seeds. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose some peppers and some flowers. This one's not so bad. Let me get my pruners. All right, so the habanero is here. I am going to remove this pepper here. Here. It's like I need to sharpen my pruners. And this is not being done so that I can overwinter this pepper because I don't plan on overwintering this one. I'm just doing it to make sure that my habanero pepper that's been here struggling all summer can actually get some sunlight and start producing some peppers. So I think that's as far back as I'm going to prune it. Yeah, that's pretty open. And I should be able to get another harvest, maybe a couple more harvests from this one pepper. Oops, there's a red one. Can't let it go to waste. And I will throw these in the fire pit to make some smoke for the mosquitoes. And those are all the peppers that we harvested today. Like I said, some of them will be dried, some of them will be pickled, some of them will be turned into hot sauce. I know that this is a pepper harvest, but I couldn't help but show off my eggplant. My eggplant have been the star of my garden this year. They have produced from the beginning, and I believe they will be producing all the way up until the end. Those are the Nagasaki. Got some in there. That dead leaf. Got one over there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another one. It's not quite finished growing yet. 5. Then we got 6 that's coming out. 7. And I got some blooms too. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about my eggplant. My freezer's already full. I'm stocked up on my eggplant chili, and so I've been just cooking them as I harvest them. I've been making soups. You can grill them. They're pretty good grilled. And so they're definitely not going to waste. All right, folks, that's it for today's video. I do appreciate you guys joining me for this Pepper Palooza. If you have comments, I'd appreciate it if you could leave them down below. I'd also appreciate it if you could like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed my content. And until next time, I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.